In the corner of the Rusty Spoon, a diner that smelled of burnt coffee and missed opportunities, sat a 7-year-old girl named Mia. She was there every day at 3:30 p.m., perched on the same cracked vinyl stool, clutching a single tattered notebook. She never ordered anything expensive, just a side of fries she'd pick at for 2 hours. Most waitresses saw her as a camper who took up a table for a meager tip, but Elena saw something else. Elena, a woman who worked 3 jobs to keep her own head above water, saw a reflection of her own lonely childhood in the girl's quiet, observant eyes. Elena didn't just serve Mia, she protected her. When the lunch rush got rowdy and truckers complained about the kid taking up space, Elena would slide a complimentary glass of milk or a bowl of warm soup toward Mia, whispering, "On the house, kiddo. Brain food for whatever you're drawing." Mia rarely spoke, but her sketches told stories of a world made of gold and glass, far removed from the peeling wallpaper of the diner. Day after day, for 6 months, this was their ritual. Elena became Mia's silent guardian, once even chasing off a group of teenagers who tried to mock the girl's faded clothes. Elena didn't know where Mia's parents were, and she didn't pry, she just ensured that for 2 hours a day, the girl felt seen and safe. The routine shattered on a rainy Tuesday. The diner's bell chimed, but instead of the usual soft jingle, the door was flung open with a violent force that silenced the entire room. 2 towering men in charcoal suits stepped in first, their eyes scanning the room with clinical coldness, bodyguards. Then, a man walked in whose presence seemed to suck the oxygen out of the room. He was dressed in a suit that cost more than the diner's entire yearly revenue, his face a mask of desperate, suppressed exhaustion. The diner patrons froze, forks suspended in midair, as the man's eyes locked onto the back of the small girl at the counter. "Mia," the man choked out, his voice a mix of terror and relief. Mia spun around, her face lighting up in a way Elena had never seen. "Daddy," she cried, throwing herself into his arms. The bodyguards stood like stone pillars as the man wept into his daughter's hair. Elena stood frozen behind the counter, a pot of coffee trembling in her hand. This wasn't a kidnapping, this was a reunion. The man, Elias Thorne, was a tech mogul who had been frantically searching for his daughter after she had been taken by a disgruntled relative months prior. Mia had managed to escape and had been living in a nearby shelter, coming to the diner every day because it was the only place that felt like the home she remembered. Elias approached the counter, his eyes red. He didn't offer a check or a handshake, he looked at Elena's name tag and then directly into her soul. "The police told me a woman had been feeding her," he whispered. "They told me someone was watching over her while the world looked the other way." He reached into his pocket, but instead of a wallet, he pulled out a small, crumpled drawing Mia had left behind weeks ago, a sketch of Elena with a halo made of coffee steam. Elias didn't just tip Elena that day. Within a week, the Rusty Spoon was purchased under a private trust and gifted to Elena, ensuring she would never have to work 3 jobs again. But the real resolution came in the message Elias left on a napkin before they departed: "Generosity isn't about what you have in your bank account, it's about what you're willing to share when you have nothing at all." Elena didn't just change Mia's life, she proved that even in the darkest corners of a forgotten diner, a little bit of human kindness can light the way home for a lost soul.